Oh, sorry. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Selamat sore. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih ya teman-teman sudah hadir di dalam acara sharing session. Jadi kita sangat senang ya pada sore hari ini kita kedatangan tamu pakar expert terkait dengan konstelasi satelit, khususnya satelit radar dan pembangunan digital elevation model. Jadi masyarakat ahli penginderaan jauh Indonesia atau MAPIN saat ini sedang menerima kunjungan dari mitra namanya PIESAT. Nanti akan dijelaskan langsung. Kebetulan hadir pada hari ini ada Miss Chang Ching dari PIESAT. Nanti insya Allah beliau akan menjelaskan, menceritakan bagaimana perkembangan konstelasi satelit radar yang berkembang saat ini, kemudian bagaimana pemanfaatannya. Nah ini sangat menarik karena berdasarkan diskusi sebelumnya, banyak hal-hal yang bisa kita kerjasamakan ya, utamanya dari segi aplikasi dan yang lain-lain. Jadi terkait masalah data radar, data SAR, kemudian aplikasinya, contoh pembangunan DEM dan segala macam, itu kita akan dengarkan nanti bersama-sama. Nanti saat ini karena hybrid mode, kebetulan banyak partisipan juga saat ini hadir di sini, di ruang sekretariat MAPIN, dan juga di Zoom. Nanti diskusinya kita bisa lakukan setelah paparan ataupun pengenalan produk dari Miss Chang Ching dari PIESAT. Untuk itu kami mengucapkan terima kasih sekali lagi atas meluangkan waktu Bapak Ibu sekalian dalam acara ini. Dan untuk kesempatan pertama kami persilakan kepada Ibu Miss Chang Ching. Tapi nanti Miss Chang Ching dalam Inggris ya, bukan dalam bahasa Indonesia. Inggris. Oke, jadi nanti paparnya dalam bahasa Inggris. Nanti kalau teman-teman ada pertanyaan boleh di chat apa segala macam ataupun open mic langsung bisa. Untuk itu kami persilakan the time is yours.
Thank you. So can I share the screen now?
Yes, it's up to you. So you can talk or something. Talk first.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna speak out.
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jean from PIESAT Information Technology Equipment Limited, and thank you for inviting me to do this seminar today. So I'm the senior manager of the international business affairs in my company. So I've been in this industry for like 3 years. I might look young, but my working experience is quite mature compared to my age. So yeah. So I try to make this seminar more like a relaxing and more like interaction, engaging stuff, rather than just giving the dry presentation or speech. I really would like to know what currently like Indonesian people needs the most, your demands and your requirements about our like SAR satellite constellations. So I'm gonna start up with the general background of our company. So our company, also known as the PIESAT, established in 2008, and we started up as a software company. So we have our own self-developed software tool named as PIESAT Information Expert.
자, 훨씬 더 아이고요.
Okay. So this software toolkit consists of 10 different types of software. So each is designed for different types of data sources. So I think it's better to. So yeah. So this is the brochure, the digital version of to your hand, like just delivered. So other than the software toolkit, we also have this cloud platform. So the reason we have this cloud platform PyEngine is what we found is kind of like costly and less efficient to teach some of the people from government sectors to install this software. So it costs a lot, sometimes the money and the time. So we found out it's much more easier and convenient to integrate all of the software to this cloud platform. and to let the outsiders or some specialists or these scholars to just log into this platform and to download or obtain the data they want whenever they want to. And also we have this 2D and a 3D visualization platform is called PyEngine Earth. So the PyEngine and the PyEngine Earth are quite similar to Google Earth and Google Earth Engine. But we don't see them as the competitors. We learn from them. So we have these similar technologies, but we just don't have the enough time to do this branding for us. So we now have these more than two. Actually, the number is quite old. We now actually have like more than 220 branches in China. Our headquarters is in Beijing. And we have these 13 international subsidiaries worldwide. Each is designed for its main purpose. So the subsidiaries we established in the Asian countries is mainly for the capacity buildings. So such as we have these drone factories in Thailand, and we export or we import anything related to the drones from Thailand. And the subsidiaries we established in European countries is mainly for the engagement or the interactions with the scholars or other like expertise from international business. So we have these more than 800 software copyrights and more than actually 170 invention patents. So this is the core architecture of our company. So we have these two backbones in the PIESAT. We have these what we call sky, space, and ground integrated network. So we actually connect the data from three different aspects. So the space, we have satellites. And then in the sky, we have these drones. And on the ground, we have the ground stations. So this is the technologies we use to obtain the data. So this is one of the two backbones. And another is the three main products I just introduced, the software cloud platform and the visualization platform. So those things can work together. That makes us the satellite internet company. So most of you might be curious about what is the satellite internet. So sometimes we see satellites as the tangible assets. It flies around the orbit, like around Earth. You can see, you can touch it, you can make it. However, the internet is more like invisible, intangible assets. You cannot touch it. You cannot like actually see it. It's invisible, but you live like within this internet world. So the satellite internet is what we call the whole supply chain of the satellite data, because those two things have one common thing, data. So satellite is the method we create to obtain the data from the Earth, from the ground. So we retrieve those data, we upload to the satellites. Then we use our technologies to process this data. So those two work together. And the reason we try to expand our business layout into satellites and drones is because things we established as a software company, we find out it sometimes restricted us, like we cannot expand or obtain the data we want. We just do whatever other people told us to do, send us to do. So sometimes our capacity is being limited. That's why we create this space, air and ground integrated like networks of data. So for the satellites, we have this one. In last year's 30th of March, we just launched 4 satellites. All of them are SAR satellites. So they formed as a cartwheel formation. So those 4 satellites fly in orbit and all together. So you can see there's a main satellite in the middle, and there are 3 auxiliary satellites flying around the main satellites. So this formation is the first cartwheel formation in China, also on the world basis. So the reason we launched 4 SAR satellites rather than the optical satellites is because, first of all, there are many optical satellites out there. And the second is optical satellites have its own shortage. It cannot be it cannot do a very clear task when the weather condition is pretty bad. So if there comes with raining days or cloudy days, the SAR satellites can penetrate those clouds, and it can obtain or capture the images on the ground in a very clear pixels. However, the optical satellites cannot do that. And also in China, the reason we launched those 4 satellites is because the China has a pretty large blank in the SAR satellites markets. That's why we choose to launch the SAR satellites. And those 4 satellites form the first batch of our NUWA constellation. So we plan to launch 114 satellites in total. So the first stage of the NUWA constellation is actually 54 satellites. And then the next stage is 60 satellites in total. And most of them are SAR and some of them are optical satellites. So the SAR satellites we launched are mainly used for thematic mapping and disaster mitigation. It can like to detect any landslide or deformation on the ground. So it's for the I think it's homeland security stuff. And we now collaborate with many other government sectors in China. We serve more than 40 different departments in China using our products, using our data. And the satellite data are ready to be sold just by the end of last year. So some of the data or the images you want might still need time to obtain or to process. So I've been told to show you some images of Indonesia, the areas in Indonesia. However, the network on my laptop pretty bad today. So I can show you later or I can give you later. But today I can just say that we are very capable of capturing or obtaining the data in any area in Indonesia. And we can process the corresponding images like DEM, DTM, sort of stuff. And the resolution of our images is 0.5 meters. And after the constellation formed and is completed, the resolution will reach to 0.3 or even 0.1 meters. So the future is quite promising, and our technology is actually quite mature. It's just because we don't have that time to do the branding. So maybe the countries outside China knows less about us. So that's why I came in person and to do this promotion by myself. So I think that's basically the general background of our company. So before I step into another context, is there any questions or interesting point you want to bring it out? It's okay, we can just do these quick, and then we can have this discussion after this. So the next context I might want to share with all of you is the build the world's leading integrated satellite constellation and to create a new ecosystem for the satellite internet industry. So as I just introduced our company as a satellite internet company. So right now in China, we are trying to build this Chinese version of Starlink. So we work with many other commercial sectors. So we work together. We try to launch the satellites and we try to build the rockets to launch the satellites using our Chinese forces. So many Chinese companies, they used to be seen as these satellite or software companies, now have been transformed successfully into these satellite internet areas. Because we found out the satellite data or the ability to launch the satellites is the key to step forward and to step into the world. So there will be like 5 parts of this PDF, but I don't think I need to introduce them one by one because the industry background, I believe most of you or all of you might know something about the aerospace stuff. And I've heard that Indonesia tried to launch these satellites. So as the even we are the commercial companies in China, we can help you, and then we can, or even to deliver the ownership of our satellites to you, and to help you to chase or to fulfill these satellite launching one, I think. And also for the part two, the requirements analysis is actually based in China. So I just gave this part. And I think I want to significantly bring up these satellite manufacturing capabilities. So please switch to the part 3. So even though like most of the Chinese companies, they launch their satellites, even they speak that they have their own satellites. However, maybe they don't have the capabilities to build up or to manufacture their own satellites. So now I'd like to introduce that we have this industry in Henan province in China. So this industry, this factory is designed for us to build our own satellites, because we plan to launch 140 satellites in total by the end of 2026. So this factory is already completed and is already being used by our company and by our collaborators from outsiders. So we don't normally brand this factory, but I can show some of the number of the. So yeah, this is just the layout. Things. Next slide. So the production capacity is quite satisfying and promising. So this plant can have the annual production capacity of 15 satellites within 500 kg after reaching production capacity. So these after expanding the production capacity, the annual production capacity can reach to over 20 satellites. So maybe you see the 20 is not that large number, but the building a satellite requires a lot of time. However, for us to begin our plan to launch the first 4 satellites till the time we launch, it only took us 20 months. So this time is quite short and compared to many other operators. So now let's move on to our NUA constellation. So I'm not sure like if you know NUA or not. No, yeah. So NUA is the Asian goddess of China who created human beings. We believe she created the human beings. So it's more like the creator of humankind in Chinese history. Yeah, that's why we think these movements, our action to build up our own SAR satellite constellation, is more like we create something from like zero, from ground. So we name it as NUA constellation. So it means a lot to us to create such a SAR satellite constellation from nothing to maybe future like 114 satellites. So this is our one-stop service, just the from satellite perspective. So we have these satellite manufacturing capabilities, and we have our own ground stations, and then we can operate by ourselves. We have this control center in our company. can monitor and it can deploy any task from outsiders to these SAR satellite constellation. And then we have this cloud platform to monitor the movements and the status of the constellation. So we have this whole coverage of these services we can provide using our own technologies and or to outsiders. So this is our plan for this NUA constellation. So we try to launch 114 satellites in total for high resolution remote sensing, real-time observation, navigation enhancement. LT realizes uninterrupted global coverage. So the first full batch we just launched belongs to the NUA constellation project, phase 1. And phase 2, there will be 60 satellites. So some of them will be like optical, but majority of them will be SAR satellites because we found out Chinese markets has a big like leakage in this amount of SAR satellites. Yeah. So the overall capacity of NUA constellation is quite satisfying. So they will be like the 0.5 meters resolution revisit time is in 12 minutes. And it can realize like a full coverage of land throughout the country once a day. And full coverage of all regions globally in once a week. This is for the first full patch of satellites. After the NUA constellation is completed, this number will be like upgraded. Yeah, so there's just the something about our first batch of satellites. So the public images the first images we sent to the public is this is the samples. So this is the Daxing Airport.
SAR image.
Yeah. So this can be shared to the public, so that's why I put in this PowerPoint. So the next slide is the Russia. We kind of have like been raised by Russian companies recently, so they're quite curious about our SAR images as well. So this is the one we can show to the public. So just put here. Yeah, and this is North Pole. All of them are SAR satellites. And this is South America. And yeah, this is the examples of in-SAR products. So actually the DEM products for Indonesia is being processed by our team. So hopefully we can have this ready before I leave Indonesia. Yeah, okay. So we have this capacity and we have the technical support to do these images. So I think it's quite worthy. We can try to establish such operations or collaborations between us and the Indonesia. So I think maybe show 27. So this is just some mature application services we provide to outsiders. It has the natural resource monitoring, carbon storage monitoring to the disaster mitigation. So other than these satellites, we also have these drones factories, but since we focus on satellites today, so I'm gonna spend less of time to introduce our drones. So actually we, other than the satellites, we have the drones factories as well in Thailand. And we can do monitoring using our drones as well in the middle, like I'm gonna say in the low space economy. It's the Chinese technique word. It says like 40 drones because it flies in the sky. So it's like low sky economy. Satellites is for high sky economy in Chinese. So we can use one of them, or we can combine those two technologies together to provide the monitoring. Satellites and drones, we see them work in parallel, but as the complementary to each other. So sometimes the drones can fly into some areas wherever like the satellites cannot detect it. And sometimes the satellites can have the better and steady resolutions. However, the drones will be sometimes shut down like due to unexpected scenarios. So I think that's it. That's the of my presentation. Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.
So is there any product demo that can be sold?
Maybe after these meeting, because we cannot like give to the public. Can
Or
only show like on the table.
there is no sample product or something?
I can show you like after this meeting,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, no.
So now come to the discussion.
Yep.
Is there any discussion, question from the audience?
Anything.
Anything?
It doesn't have to be related to the satellites or drones. It can be anything.
From the Zoom? Is there any question? So, Ms. Chang Ching, you said that you will create Nua constellation. How to pronounce it?
Nuwa.
Nua constellation, yeah.
Nuwa constellation.
So it consists of radar and optic,
Yeah, optical and the SAR.
optical and SAR. And then, is it possible to, for example, for the emergency situation, there is something like flood in certain
Yeah, yeah.
area, and then how many hours delay to get the
Actually,
information?
the information, the data is all in real time.
Really?
Yeah, we have that control center based in our company. So anything, the
All over the
data,
world?
yeah, is all in real time and is in like simultaneously. It's all in real time. So it can be changed or it can be detected just whenever you see it. It's changing all the time.
And to obtain the data to downlink to the control station and then to process it and then to get the image.
Oh, before the work of process, the obtain the data is quite efficient. The time is quite short, but depends on the area you want to obtain the data from. Actually, we deploy the SAR satellites in flood control because there was a flood in Henan province or in Hebei province in China. So we use our SAR satellites to help the rescue team to monitor the flood, the trend or the tendency it might go. So the data is in real time. So that's why we can have the better understanding of like where the direction the flood might go.
So because in our understanding that if there is something happen like emergency situations, we submit the area of interest to the data provider, and then the satellite owner drive onto the satellite into that position, and if there is far away, so they have any time to go to that position and then capture the image and then download the data and then process.
Oh yeah, because the SAR satellite is flying all the time. So any place on the globally basis, it will be revisited once a day.
Once a day.
Once a day. You just those 4 satellites.
Just from the 4 satellites. Okay, and then?
So after the constellation is completed, there will be like maybe in hour level revisit time.
Hour level.
Yeah, now it's day level. So after the constellation is completed, it will be like our level,
Constellation completed, it means 40 satellites that one.
54.
54.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the time is quite short compared to maybe other satellites. So it's good.
Yeah, for example, last month when we got the discussion here with what we call space wheel, seaway, and
Oh, yeah.
seaway, and then they said the fastest time we get the data maybe at least in 1 or 2 hours after submission. So what happened to the PIESAT? Is it same?
We can process the data just using our satellites, because within the satellites we have these just to put in like a software or call Python, we can just process the data using our satellites. We don't have to obtain the data first from the satellites. The satellites can process the data by itself. Yeah, I think that's the difference. Yeah. And like after the task is completed, the archive data will be restored to the satellites. So if the other client want this data from the same area, we can just show them just immediately because we have this archive data uploaded.
That's interesting, yeah. Okay, so this is related to the emergency situation. So what happened for the like not immediate requirement, for example, long-term observation, for example, for paddy field or agriculture sector,
Okay, so the
forestry.
that requires a combination of technologies. So other than the satellite technologies, for the agricultural or crops detection or the classifications, we also have our own AI technologies. We
So
have
it's different segment, yeah. It's AI for data processing, yeah. So you utilize AI.
yeah, but the technologies can work together. It's just the different means to process the data. So because the images obtained by the satellites is quite sometimes black and white, it doesn't have many colors. The AI technology is just to help you to fulfill the color, to just classify the types of crops just based on these images. So the technologies work together. It doesn't have to be first and second. It can all the time.
So previously in your slide, you saw us about the interferometric or the digital elevation model, yeah?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the accuracy level?
You mean the
confidence,
elevation?
the elevation.
Now is for the area between 20 times 30 kilometers will be like 5 meters. The resolution will be 5 meters.
It means spatial
Yeah.
resolution or the vertical resolution?
This optical vertical.
Vertical resolution.
Yeah, vertical. Yeah. It's just for the full satellites. After the constellation is completed, it will be like 3 meters or 1 meters, the vertical. So the position accuracy will be really high.
So your goal is after the all constellation is completed, you will get the accuracy of DEM in 1 meter.
Yeah,
Vertical accuracy.
yeah, it's expected. Yeah.
Oh.
Or
It's the
even-
same. It's the same for the forest area, rural, urban,
Yes,
city,
same.
building.
Yeah, because it's just using our own satellites, so the accuracy is the same amongst all the objects. It will be not altered between the objects. So our technology is quite mature, but we don't do that much branding, like I told them like before.
Yeah. Is there any like previous product in other location, for example, that we can see?
I don't have it on this laptop.
Oh,
Yeah.
in internet or something? We can
Um,
find by Google or.
I asked my colleagues to send me
Oh,
later, so I cannot show to the public because our policy requires it.
Oh.
Yeah, so
now still constrained by the policy to open the data
yeah, the DM data.
or the DEM data. Oke. So mungkin dari teman-teman ada yang mau ditanyakan dulu? Gak ada? Pak Prabu?
Ya,
When I see the PIESAT website, I see the free software. I don't know how to use it. It's free or
We So we have this trial version of the software for like 1 month or 3 months. We can give you the lessons, so you can register it and then use it. So after this period, you can decide to purchase it or not. So we can give you the lessons to use the different types of software.
so. If I'm a public user, so right now, maybe you can give a trial license to us to try the product. But how about the public, maybe in the Zoom or the other when access the website? Is it they can use the software or maybe they must subscribe or to the software if they want to use the software or if there's something free trial or something like that.
Okay, so for everyone, we have this software integrated on the cloud platform. So actually, you don't have to be inside or outside users. You can just log into this website, and you don't have to, for the software on the website, you don't have to purchase the trial version, or you don't have to pay for it. You can just register and to log in and to obtain the final results from that website.
So can I share? How do I download the software from this website? Oh,
This you can you can only
I'm
find the
just,
portal in
yeah.
Chinese version. This is the English version of our company. So
so
we're working on the English portal for the software on the English version of website.
oh,
So yeah. So right now at this stage, I can share you the lessons if you want to try our software.
Name is Robi, from Specialization and Innovation Agency. First is there any minimum commitment for the minimum product that we want to try maybe or we want to buy? Minimum commitment.
You mean the minimum amount of price or cost?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't set the benchmark for the minimum commitment. We just sometimes recommend you to show us the pilot project area to see if we can establish a long-term partnership. So rather than setting up this minimum benchmark, we see if this project is actually feasible or not. So depends on your demand. If you think we are capable of doing whatever you want us to do, we can send you a quotation, but no minimum level. We think each project is worth it to do. So
it's more like business to business, yeah, not to.
we work with universities as well. So we have these clients from governments and universities and also business sectors. And then we even work with individuals as well. Yeah.
So for maybe for case in research, can you show some of the partnership example for initial, maybe we have some problems that we want to venture, but we don't know if it is feasible or not.
My name.
Okay.
Yeah, you can send your information to my email address and I can arrange these details to you through the, on that.
And last question. So, first of all, I'm mentioning, PIESAT is providing more, not only the satellite product, but also the custom, maybe monitoring solution, like
Customized,
customized.
Yeah.
Monitoring solution that is tailored for user requirements.
yes, we do provide, and one of our biggest advantage is we provide the customized services. Because we provide more services to more than 40 different departments in China. So like agricultural, meteorology, maritime, forestry, homeland securities, many of them. So all of them maybe like sometimes want different things. That's why we customize our sub-services or solutions to each of them. So we have this ability to do the customized services.
I have another question. You also showed us about the factory, the satellite factory that PIESAT.
Yeah, I think I just showed in PowerPoint. You want to see the layout or?
No, so we also know that some of the satellite company also selling the satellite itself. Are PIESAT also offering that to?
Yes, yeah, you mean sell our own satellites?
Yeah.
Like I just said, like we are thinking because we just gonna launch 54 and in future 114 satellites, right? So whatever, no matter what, we're gonna launch them. However, we can deliver or we can transfer the ownership of these satellites to the clients. So we don't sell, we can do the deliver things. We can just help you build these satellites. We can help you have the satellites. So we don't have to sell the satellites itself. We are looking for something after this transferring the ownership. So I don't know if I'm clear or not. So
Transferring the ownership, you mean you launch the satellite and then offering it to be.
yeah, so yeah, we're thinking about this public-private partnership. So we have our own satellites and we have ability to build one. So for those who cannot build or who doesn't have the ability or capability to have the satellites, we can help them have one or have two. Like no matter many like they want, we can help them have this. However, they just need to pay for the satellite images after. But I think this is quite cheaper than the manufacturing satellites, right? Yeah, because building satellites costs a lot, but just purchasing the satellite images costs maybe less. So we try to promote this type of partnership to our international collaborators. Yeah.
And maybe last one. Is there any? I'm taking time as well. But how about is there any particular policy from maybe the Chinese government about on the usage of Chinese satellites?
You mean over the satellites? Over the satellites, policy over the satellites?
Yeah, maybe we know that the situation, geopolitical situation globally is changing, and if we use some particular satellite from some country, we can monitor anywhere, and maybe the country have some policy maybe, or maybe I don't know on China.
We don't have in China. We don't have policies over the satellites. We just have the policies over the drones. And for the satellites, because it's already flying in orbit, so no matter or now, like regardless, it's already like obtaining the data every time, like in every second already. So it just we can promise that like we can only show you the images you want, or like for the Indonesia, we can just take the pictures from Indonesia and deliver these to the sectors from Indonesia. We can promise not to deliver these things to other countries. So I think that's the confidentiality things. But for like from the country basis, we don't have that restrict policy over it.
Okay, thank you, Pak Robi. Any question? Other comments? From Zoom? Ada yang nanya nggak di chat? Nggak ada ya? Pak Hadi, ada komen Pak Hadi?
Sementara belum. Silakan. Saya sedang mengamati.
Belum ada Pak ya?
Belum ada.
Siap, siap.
Tapi paparannya tadi bisa dikirim. Paparannya buat kita.
So, how about your presentation material? Is it open to public?
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah,
share
you
it?
can share it, yeah.
Maybe we can share into the chat show. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So yeah, we are very a little bit difficult to discuss because we don't have any imagination about the product, so we can comment, for example.
Yeah, we maybe after this.
Yes, hopefully. So about the satellite itself, how many kilograms? The size of the satellite, is it classified into small satellite or big satellite?
Middle size.
Middle size.
Yeah, middle size.
More than 100 kilograms.
Yeah, so the accelerator size weight us I think 200 kg. Yeah, and then the main one is the 150 kg. Yeah, so three relatively small, one and the one big. The main is larger compared to accelerator.
And the temporal resolution for the SAR is every 1 hour, 1 day.
1 day, yeah. Revisit.
The temporal resolution, the specific time.
Yeah, revisit.
Wow. And the highest accuracy for the spatial is 3 meters?
You mean DM?
No, the image, the
0.5.
backscatter image.
The 0.5 meters.
2?
0.5 meters. The resolution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 0.5.
0.5?
0.5 meters.
50 centimeters?
Yeah, 0.5 meters. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So the resolution is pretty good for that.
So it's like military class, yeah,
Yes.
for the
So
observation.
actually, we're working a lot with military, like government sectors. So most of our clients are from the government sectors, or with government backgrounds in China.
So based on your experience, is there any like success story for utilizing your product in another country outside of China?
You mean the satellite images?
Yes.
Now we are trying to establish the cooperation with Malaysia.
Oh,
Yeah, because 70% of the area in Malaysia is covered by the forest. So they find it might difficult to obtain the images using the optical supplies. So they want use our like SAR images.
so your SAR system is it a single polarization, dual polarization, or full polarization? The radar image
Position.
polarization, is it single, dual, or full?
Full.
Vertical, horizontal, so we can
Full spectrum?
combine.
Yeah, spectral.
the polarization of the SAR
It's full.
full. So
Yeah.
it means you can get vertical, 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 horizontal, horizontal,
Yes,
vertical.
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, we still not cannot see
Yeah.
the product.
I
Yeah.
can show you like after this, but because the policy of our company,
Yeah, yes, yes,
doesn't
yes.
allow to show to the public, so that's why we cannot show to the public. I can only show like maybe.
Only the kind of airport.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, usually if there is something to promote their product, why the company always
Yeah.
shows something like an airport image?
Yeah, we used to show the images to the outsiders, but sometimes we found is not the safe way for our own satellite images.
Ah.
So that's why we want to deploy some protections over our own satellite images. That's why we can only show, but not that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So the advantage of the PIESAT constellation satellite is the resting time is 1 day,
One day.
and then the spatial resolution is 0.5.
Yeah.
It means 50 centimeters.
Yeah, but we don't say centimeters, we just say meters.
Meters.
Yeah, 0.5 meters.
0.5 meters.
Yes.
And then for the digital elevation model product, you can confidently set if the full constellation, it means 54 satellite will
Yeah.
be 1 meter
1 meters.
in vertical resolution.
1 meters to 3 meters.
1 to 3, yeah.
Yeah, 1 to 3. Yeah.
Okay then. Oh, wow. So usually in the one coverage area in, for example, spotlight modes, like
Yeah, we have that spotlight.
how many areas, the coverage, how many, is it,
8,
for the one here?
20 kilometers times 30 kilometers.
Oh, so one spot is 25 times 30 kilometers.
20 times 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck, sir.
Yeah, pretty long.
Okay. So basically, what is the main purposes to develop this kind of system? What kind of the sector you want to see? Is it for forest, agriculture, or natural resources?
You mean the main,
Yes, the main purpose of the PIESAT.
actually the main, like proposition
Yes.
now is the one I just introduced, the PPP, the private public partnership. So regardless of the end users, because we see the agriculture, the meteorology, or the forestry is the end users.
Yes.
Regardless of these, we propose to work with Indonesia to try to deliver the satellite ownership to them. And
Oh,
to, yeah, so no matter like the end users you have, it's your decisions to make. Yeah, so we can just help you own the satellites. You don't have to cost the money to build one. We can deliver it. So that's what PIESAT proposes, you know.
Yeah, because in the future, the trend of the economic is like a sharing economy,
Yeah.
economic sharing. So
Yeah.
rather to own something, maybe we just subscribe or something.
Yeah. So because we're gonna launch like 114. No matter what, we're gonna launch that much amount of satellites. So we can just give you one of them or two of them. So you can just subscribe like for the entire life cycle of the satellites.
Oke. Ada pertanyaan lagi? Panto? Mau didiskusikan? Nanti aja.
Yeah, maybe after.
After this meeting katanya.
Ya.
Belum ada sampel datanya. Teman-teman dari Zoom, ada yang ingin klarifikasi, ditanyakan ke Mbak Cing? Ya, Mbak Cing.
Jing, yeah, Jing.
Di Indonesia report Mbak it means Cici.
Chichi.
Cici.
Chichi.
Sister.
Oh,
Mbak,
Chichi.
iya.
So Jing is Chichi.
No. Mbak Cici. Sister G. Sister G.
Sister G. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, cool. Okay. A pleasure.
Pak Hardi, ada komen?
Bahasa Indonesia aja ya.
Iya, iya Pak.
Untuk Pak Agustan. Tadi saya nuliskan di chat bahwa Demnas kita itu kan 9 meteran sekarang.
Iya.
Dengan teknologi dari PIESAT ini ya, berarti kita bisa meningkatkan Demnas kita, dan itu sangat besar artinya buat program percepatan pembuatan peta skala besar. Kalau menurut saya, tidak perlu kita menggunakan airborne lagi sudah. Jadi dengan tadi dikatakan bahwa sampai 1 meter atau 0,5 meter ya, resolusinya, dan dia bisa kita bisa mengakses setiap hari misalnya, itu besar artinya buat teknologi kita, pengetahuan kita gitu ya. Airborne mungkin diperlukan, tapi untuk cities segala macam ya, untuk penggunaan drone segala macam. Tapi untuk untuk base map, saya yakin kita bisa merubah UUD, merubah UUIG kita begitu rupa dengan menggunakan teknologi ini. Kalau masuk dalam undang-undang, maka anggaran itu bisa dipindahkan dari pembuatan melalui airborne ke satelit. Saya kira di situ letaknya. Itu komentar saya. Saya kira teknologi ini merupakan hari depan mapping kita sebetulnya. Untuk untuk base mapping ya. Kalau untuk city mapping segala macam, untuk special purpose mapping itu lain ceritanya. Tapi kalau untuk disaster segala macam, saya kira ini solusinya kalau menurut saya. Dan kita harus mengikuti, kalau tidak habis saja nanti anggaran kita untuk sesuatu yang sebetulnya ada teknologi yang jauh lebih murah sebetulnya, tanda kutip yang murah. Nah, kemudian mengenai peraturan mengenai mengakses data, apakah tetap seperti yang sekarang sudah ada atau perlu direvisi lagi dengan adanya citra satelit dengan ketelitian data tinggi yang begitu bagus. Terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih banyak Pak Hardi. So Pak Hardi comments that the 1 meter resolution for the vertical component of the digital elevation model is very good, because right now our national digital elevation model, the accuracy is 9 meters.
Yeah.
So if we can process all the data and then we can get for the 1 hour 1 meters accuracy, it's very helpful for our development right now. So
we can help you already with 5 meters, because now our capability is 5 meters using our own full satellites. After the constellation is completed, it will be 1 meter.
2 years more? How many years after the full constellation? 54 satellite.
Yeah, so by the end of 2025, hopefully.
So it means the end of 2025,
Yeah.
all the constellation, NUA constellation,
Yeah, the first one of the constellation. Yeah,
the first one.
the first one.
Okay, so it's 54 satellites.
Yeah,
And then in the end of the 2025,
2026 in the end.
in the end of the
So at the end of 2025, there will be 54.
54.
Yeah, and at the end of 2026, there will be 60 more.
60 more. So it means in the end of the 2025, the digital elevation model is 1 meters.
3 meters. 1 meters.
Phase
So-
2.
Yeah, so after the whole phase is completed, so it will be 5 meters, 3 meters, 1 meters.
Okay, so right now 5 meters.
Yeah, 5 meters.
And then the
3
end of the 2025, 3 meters.
Yeah,
And
but
the
we
full
are-
constellation,
but
1
maybe
meters.
after the now the full satellites would be called PIESAT 1.
The PIESAT 1 is consist 4 satellites.
Yeah, so now there will be PIESAT 2 is ready to be launched
Yeah.
this year.
This year.
So hopefully by that time, the resolution already being achieved to like 3 meters or less than 3 meters. Yeah.
The total satellite, how many total?
104.
100.
114. Yeah.
Jadi sekarang 4, nanti terakhir 54, terus jadi 104. Iya.
Jadi
Baik.
sampai tahun 25 itu 5 meter ya, sampai tahun 25.
Sekarang 5 meter.
5 meter ya resolusinya.
Sekarang 5 meter Pak, akhir 2025 itu 3 meter.
Nggak mau 3 meter saya. Ya.
Nggak mau.
Akhirnya jadi 1 meter ya, sesudah 54 satelit itu ya.
Iya.
Wah, luar biasa, itu luar biasa. Saya kira kita harus menanggapi itu. Peraturan atau undang-undang atau apapun namanya itu harus mengikuti perkembangan teknologi. Kalau tidak, kita jauh tertinggal.
Oke. Siap Pak Hadi, terima kasih banyak komennya. Ada komen lain? Tanggapan? So how about the data format itself and the size of the data? Is it the same with the previous like European satellite product?
You mean the format?
Yeah, the data format. Is it like GeoTIFF or SD5 or something?
We have like
Or special format?
we can all
More
provide
light, more small or something?
like for the different the format of the data, we can provide like in all formats you want.
Oh.
So yeah, because we have our own software to process the data.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it means by processing by your own software, maybe
Yeah.
you have a special or any different format with the other. It's very advantage maybe, for example, the size become more lighter.
I cannot see it at this moment, but we can provide like any format you want us to process.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay then. Ada komen lagi? So I'm interested about the full polarization. So right now you have 4 satellites, and all the 4 can acquire in the full polarization.
Yeah.
So maybe we can for the forest application. Yeah, so maybe we can see the deforestation and we can estimate the above ground biomass or something by using the full polarization.
So you want to see the sample data?
No, the for estimation, your success story before.
Oh, so
For example, in Malaysian case, you
um,
successfully estimate the above ground biomass or deforestation.
so the Malaysia case just started. So the it doesn't have the archive data in satellite. So the archive data will be only generated after the task begins and finish. So we just started with Malaysia. So which means we don't have the archive data. But I can try to deploy the techniques board to show if they have like similar cases before. So,
Yes, yeah.
okay.
Okay. Okay then. Ada lagi yang mau digali lebih dalam? Klarifikasi atau kebijakan, polisi, kerjasama dan segala macam? Teman-teman di Zoom, ada pertanyaan lagi? Ada message nggak Pak Prabu? Di chat. Oh, minta file dikirim. Yang 8 new message itu nggak ada ke bawah. Oh, udah dikirim. Oke. Udah kan? Nggak ada pertanyaan lagi ya?
Tadi yang 4
Iya, jadi dari sekarang kan 9 meter yang ada dari BIG itu. Kemudian sekarang yang sudah tersedia di arkifnya PIESAT ada yang 5 meter. Nah, kalau umpama sampai terakhir 2025 itu bisa jadi 3 meter dan nanti fullnya jadi 1 meter katanya ketelitian akurasi DM. Ya,
Terus kalau 5.000.
iya, betul. Jadi seperti yang dikata Pak Hardi tadi, Pak, bahwa untuk yang spesial-spesial tertentu aja yang mungkin yang lebih detail gitu ya, baru berbagi pesawat. Gimana tuh Pak? Lidar mapping nanti seperti apa tuh nanti jadinya?
Teknologi seperti itu. Di canggih juga di kan kita perlu sampel data processingnya apakah dia pakai software dia pakai ini kan interferometri ya.
Untuk DM ya, interferometry. So, would you please show us the slide about the interferometry?
Kalau Malaysia itu aplikasi apa ya?
Kehutanan katanya. Hutan, forest, sama perkebunan sawitnya.
Kita pabrik di Thailand ya?
Pabrik satelitnya. So, for example, this kind of image, it's obtained by using your own software. Yeah?
Our satellites and our software.
So, for example, if we get only the raw data from your satellites, so is it can be also processed by open source software like Snap or something?
It's hard to say because the software is some kind of like impaired with our images. So we don't it's hard to say if our images can be used by our software. We have to test that. I have to ask if it can be used or not. Normally we just obtain the data and process by our own software and give the end result to the users. So it's like the whole supply chain of the services.
So no, is it in one bundle? Yeah. So if we purchase the raw data of the satellite, so we also obtain your software.
Or it comes in package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only one bundle, one package.
Yeah, because if you wanted the raw images, you have to spend time processing it.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can just purchase the end results. So we can obtain and process and just give you the results.
As you mentioned before, it depends in our requirement of data format, yeah, the output product.
The format can be achieved like the software we can provide like many format of data. So the format is not the question. It's just what kind of results you want us to process and to provide.
Okay. Jadi softwarenya harus pakai softwarenya mereka juga, Pak.
Ya kayaknya masih jualan servisnya jualan data. Tapi nanti
Iya, belum mau ya. Oke, ada komen lagi? Teman dari Zoom belum ada ya? Sekarang udah jam setengah, ya udah jam
Itu satu lagi Pak,
ya.
yang file 2024 PIESAT. Terus page 3. Itu maksudnya 4 satelit itu sinkron itu maksudnya gitu. Kan biasanya satu satelit nge-scan gitu. Maksudnya itu dia 3 satelit muterin yang satu itu. Tujuannya apa?
Oh, so very interesting questions. Please explain more detail about the synchronization of the 4 satellites. This kind
Okay,
kind of system.
so you are,
3 and 1,
okay, so
what's the purpose and how, why?
actually the reason we launched this cartwheel formation is just because the world doesn't have it. So we designed this formation. But when it comes to working, so those 4 satellites works at the same time. So the main satellites like flying in orbit, like in circle, and the 3 auxiliary satellites flying around the main satellites. So it will be like this.
Do you have any animation?
I don't have it on this
Oh,
computer.
okay.
Sorry. So it will like 1 min flying in circle. Yeah, and 3 auxiliary satellites just flying around the min one. So and they send the signals to the ground stations and then get the feedback from the ground stations at the same time. That's why the resolution is much higher, because all of them works at the same time. But like each one of them can work separately as alone. But when it comes with these 4 satellites, the resolution will be higher.
What is the purpose?
The purpose, the general purpose to design this cartwheel, is just because it's quite new, like because the world doesn't have this cartwheel formation. Yeah, they normally just launch 1. Yeah, but we found it's worthy to launch SAR satellites, so then we decide to launch 4 satellites at the same time, and then we design this formation according to that reason.
Just increase the resolution.
Yeah, to make the resolutions better.
For example, like tandem X kan, they try like this one to get the small baseline or longer baseline to get the digital elevation model.
Yeah. So like when the main satellites or like if there's only 1 satellite just flying, the area or the image it captures might be sometimes like tilted. But when it comes to with these 4 satellites, since the satellites can process images by themselves, so the images it generated will be less tilted. It will be like more like a flat image, just using those 4 satellites.
Gitu Panto ceritanya Panto. Prabu ada pertanyaan lagi Prabu? Sudah. Okay then. So maybe all the audience already asked, and then after we close this kind of session, we can continue to informal discussion.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
Or maybe you can go to another appointment.
no, what do you mean by informal?
Yeah, like
Okay. Yeah.
possible-
Just discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. Just sure. Okay.
Okay then, so thank you very much, this Yang Jin, for the time visiting us here, and also to inform us the new idea, new insight. This is very new for us to see how PIESAT works, and then the constellation is very new and quite new.
Okay.
So we're very wondering if we can see the product itself to obtain this kind of information.
Okay.
Oke dan, so thank you very much Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu yang sudah menyempatkan hadir dan juga teman-teman di Zoom. Nanti kalau ada apa-apa kita stay tune ya di ininya Mapin supaya kalau ada informasi terbaru dari PIESAT khususnya itu kita akan infokan juga, kita akan share karena biar bagaimanapun info-info ini kita harus selalu update ya, update perkembangan supaya kita nggak ketinggalan seperti kata Pak Hardi tadi. Jangan sampai kita ketinggalan melihat bagaimana perkembangan dunia penginderaan jauh, remote sensing, satelitnya, pengelola datanya, softwarenya, dan segala macam. Untuk itu, sekali lagi terima kasih. Nanti rekamannya ini sudah ada di YouTube, di kanalnya Mapin. Jadi kalau Bapak Ibu ingin menyimak sekali lagi, ingin menyerap lebih dalam, bisa melihat di kanal YouTube-nya Mapin ya. Oke, terima kasih. Salam hormat, selamat sore, dan Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita beri aplaus untuk Ibu Cangci ya. Ya. Oh, foto bersama. Di mana? Di sini. Ayo kita foto bersama. Ini aja kali Pak Ruby. Yuk, foto bareng, yuk. Kalau sebagian sendiri duduk di sini juga boleh. Ya, nanti belakang kiri, dan tegak, biar semuanya ini bagus komposisinya. Betul tidak Bapak? Di sini aja. Jadi ada yang duduk, ada yang berdiri. Ya. Yuk, yang di depan duduk, silakan. Ya, ayo. Batati.
Bapak sama itu
Guys, enggak apa-apa.